Did your favorite childhood snacks come wrapped in cellophane? Or did your fingers end up caked in seasoning and chemical dust by the time your snack sesh came? At the end of your snack sesh. That's all I was trying to say.
You said by the time what?
your sesh of snacks ended. I don't know what I said. It didn't make sense.
That's
it made
great.
sense,
Okay.
But it was a very weird way to say that. Okay, one more
Third time it's
This
going
is
to
it.
happen.
We haven't even had sugar yet. Maybe
I
that's
know.
the problem. Okay. Did your favorite childhood snacks come wrapped in cellophane? Or did your fingers end up caked in seasoning and chemical dust by the end of your snack sesh? If you're going to have to borrow some of my gum from the candy episode to freshen your breath after your favorite childhood or teen snack, you might be a Xennial, and we are too.
Woohoo.
Hi, I'm Katie.
And I'm Dani.
And welcome to another taste testing episode of Generation in Between, a Xennial podcast, where we are going to revisit and retaste snack foods from our childhoods and teen years and try to determine if they still taste as good as they did when we were young in the 1980s and the 1990s.
Yeah.
And if you are a loyal listener, you may recall our recent episode on candy. There were a few shenanigans that ensued, including candy bracelets as anklets. We poured some straight up sugar right into our mouths.
Gross.
There were some really wild stories about gum, you guys.
I know. A lot.
Whoa, mind blowing. So we heard from a lot of you who said you really enjoyed that episode. You wished we had video. To which we said, thank goodness we did not.
Oh, facts.
Also, no video today.
Oh my God, no.
But I'm sure your imaginations are even better. So this is kind of a follow-up to that because we needed to separate the candy from the snack foods. That way we had plenty of time and our taste buds could adjust to both. So I see some really good ones over there.
I know.
I'm excited about yours.
I'm excited about yours.
We'll talk about it when we get to it. But one of
them
it
I'm
didn't
not
look like
excited
it
about.
was... There is a single one of these things is not like the others on our table that we're probably going to save for the very end. And yeah, y'all will be disappointed, as will we. I feel like we will be when we try it. But anyway, so stick around to the end. And then another one we weren't sure was going to make it on the show today, but Dani found it at the last minute.
Wawa came through.
Wawa came through. And you'll all be happy to know I ordered none of my snacks from Amazon this time.
Yes, girl.
I was properly shamed. And so these come from other gigantic corporations.
Correct.
Big box
But
stores. local.
That employs local people at least.
And I didn't even use the self-checkout. I
Ooh, girl.
interacted with humans at the checkout line to bring you all of these snacks today. So hopefully you all can enjoy some of these too. And the funny thing with snacks, and we'll get into this, but I think a lot of them have staying power.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of these, like, I've definitely had, like, since the 90s.
Oh, yeah, same.
But they're tied to maybe those foundational years in a special way. So we'll share those stories too. But before we get to that, Dani, do you have any like shout outs or circlebacks? I have two.
I don't. I think you have the ones I'm going to say. Yeah.
So our last episode, not the candy one, but our cartoons episode, that was a two-parter. But on part one, we talked about the Snorks.
Katie loves them.
I was really having a hard time wrapping my brain around how this was a thing. But we heard from our friend Jen, who had a really cute story that she got a puppy when the Snorks were popular.
Yeah, in the 80s,
And they got him like a little rubber plastic Snork toy. And so they would say, go get your Snork. And then every dog toy was called that.
For the rest of his life.
For the rest of the dog's life. And if you listen, Snorks was only on a couple years.
Yeah.
There were reruns and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know, 10 years down the road, they're like, go grab your Snork. And, like, everyone's like, what?
That's a chicken.
That's a chicken.
Or it's a ball.
Yeah. It's a rope, huh? So that was really, really cute.
It's so funny.
And then a different Jennifer online was just so happy we included it. Because included Snorks.
Oh, yes.
Because she said she had been like talking to her husband about it. And he was like, what are you talking about? And then she was like so excited that that like led off the whole cartoon series that we were talking about Snorks. She felt very validated.
See, Katie?
She felt seen.
Snorks are for everyone.
Well, Snorks are for Jennifer's. And
dogs.
Dani's. And dogs. And I'm going to stick with that story.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's into our snacks. I've been talking for a bit, so why don't you do yours first?
I'm pumped. All right. So I tried to go with, again, I haven't mentioned my sister in a while, so it's time.
She's really nice. I think she is.
We'll have to have her on when she visits at some point. Okay, so when I texted her when we were doing candy episode, I said to her, hey, I'm trying, what were some like junk food / candy I used to eat as a kid all the time? And the ones, because I want to make sure I wasn't forgetting anything.
Yeah.
My first two are things that she said to me. So my very first one is Cool Ranch Doritos.
Cool Ranch Doritos. Yes.
Specifically Cool Ranch. Now, my older teenager, these are his favorite Doritos. In my opinion, they're the best Doritos. So I'm going to tell you some history because the history with Cool Ranch Doritos is pretty interesting.
Oh.
And then we're going to eat them. Katie's face is not pumped. Do you like Cool Ranch Doritos?
I love Doritos.
Oh, yay.
All
okay.
kinds.
Exciting.
Yes. I'm excited about the Doritos. I'm just not sure like that they'll be an interesting story, but
they are.
Gum surprised us.
Gum surprised us.
Wrigley specifically. So go on.
All right. So the original, I have to tell you a little bit about Doritos, just basic Doritos to tell you about Cool Ranch, okay? About their evolution. Ooh. So the original Dorito tortilla chip was made at Disneyland. At Casa de Fritos in Disneyland, okay? During the early 1960s.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So what they would do was they would use surplus tortillas and they took the original idea from a traditional Mexican snack known as Totopo, Totopo.
Okay.
Y'all know I mispronounce stuff, so I'll just spell it. So what the company owned restaurant at Disneyland, they cut up the surplus tortillas, they fried them, and they added basic seasoning, and it resembled another Mexican snack called, okay, I'm just going to spell it. Chilaquiles.
Okay.
How do you think you say that?
Cules,
okay.
Maybe?
Oh, that's not bad.
I think.
Good job. I just don't want to like murder a word that I don't know how to say. But in this case, they were dry. So that snack, that Mexican snack dish is not dry, but this one is. Okay. So they would take that. Here comes capitalism coming on into the picture here.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, it's already there because Disneyland. But so this man named Arch West, he was the vice president of Frito-Lay, okay, at the time. And he noticed how popular these Dorito tortilla chips were. So he made a deal in 1964 with Alex Foods, who actually provided a lot of the food items for Casa de Fritos at Disneyland. Okay. And they actually produced the chips for a short time just regionally before it was like completely overwhelmed by the volume. And then Frito-Lay moved the production in-house to its Tulsa plant. Okay.
Okay.
So they started regionally, then Frito-Lay took over. So here's a weird bit of trivia with this man, Arch West.
Uh-oh.
When he died in 2011, his family dusted his grave with a layer of Doritos because he was the originator.
That is very strange.
Weird. I don't know how I even came across that. It's in my sources, but yeah, weird night. So, right. Anyway, Doritos released in 1966 and became the first tortilla chip available nationally in the United States.
Okay, so you're saying Doritos were available before like your like standard plain tortilla chips.
Yep. And when they first came out, they were just tortilla chips.
Okay. Got it.
So the name actually derives from Doradito, that one I can say, which means little golden thing in Spanish.
A little golden thing.
So the original, like I said, the original Doritos were just toasted corn flavor, like you would think of like a tortilla chip, right?
Okay.
There was no extra seasoning. Okay. They were actually, that flavor of Doritos was discontinued in 2019, but they're still available in the UK, but they're called lightly salted Doritos. Yeah.
Okay.
And my husband was like trying to tell me, I do not remember them at all. I do not remember just tortilla chip Doritos.
Me either.
And my husband kept trying to tell me, he was like, Dani, yeah, do you remember when Doritos was just like a tortilla chip? And I'm like, what are you talking about? No. But
he's right.
Yeah, y'all heard it. Mark it in a history book. Troy was right.
Troy was right.
And I said it out loud.
I don't remember it either.
I don't either. But anyway, so, okay. Here's the thing, though. Market research revealed that many consumers outside the Southwest and the West United States considered the chip to be too bland and not spicy enough for what was perceived as a Mexican snack.
Okay.
So they're like, this is supposed to be a Mexican snack, and it's like this bland chip. So that is when, in 1967, they introduced the taco flavor.
Ah.
And I do remember those, and they still make those. You can find those.
Okay.
I do remember taco Doritos, and they are delicious. So they came out with the taco in 1967 and 1972. Nacho cheese flavor was released.
That was when? 72?
72.
Okay.
And then in 1986, we got our girl Cool Ranch Doritos.
Cool Ranch Doritos, a Xennial.
Yes.
Oh, no, not a Xennial.
No, not a
millennial.
Xennial. Yeah. Millennial.
But that's okay.
Here's the thing, though. It was the very first ranch-flavored snack in the United States.
That checks.
Yeah.
Like mid-80s. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that checks.
Because then I found out this interesting trivia about ranch dressing.
Oh, God.
So bottled ranch dressing started selling on U.S. shelves in 1983, but the dry packets, have been available since the 50s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting, right? So Cool Ranch Doritos were like the dawn of the ranch flavor craze in snack foods and all the things, even though they don't really taste like ranch.
No.
They don't really.
Like, I haven't tasted it again yet today, but I can taste it.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, it's not, doesn't taste like any dressing I would put on my salad or vegetables or anything, but
whatever.
It's very distinct.
So they were the forerunner of ranch snacks. One last little trivia bit, and then we're going to eat some.
Yay.
Cool Ranch Doritos. Katie's ready with her plate. She's like, shut up. Give me some Doritos. Okay. They're sold under the name Cool Original in the UK and are actually called Cool American elsewhere in Europe.
Is that because ranch is not a thing over there?
Right. Because ranch dressing is less common. I mean, they have it. It's just not, it's kind of more common in America.
So Cool Original and Cool and American?
Okay. Isn't that interesting?
That's
okay,
really
so now
cool.
we're going to eat some. Fun fact about me, I have this thing called misophonia, which I don't remember if I talked about in the candy episode or not. I can't stand to hear people chewing and all that. So
you talked about it.
I did?
Oh, yeah.
Great. So there's more of my issues. But here we go. So this is me opening the bag.
There it goes.
And we're going to pour some on a plate. And we're going to go away from the microphone to chat
totally
about chips. And you can take as many as you want because I got a big grab. Y'all remember those?
Yes.
Big grab. And my youngest son is sitting outside the door waiting for snacks. Is he there?
I think he knocked. Cooper?
Okay, we might have to. All right, whatever. Okay, we'll give him some in a minute. All right, so here we go. I'm going to turn away from the mic and then we'll chit chat about them. Let's see if they still taste.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
Cool Ranch.
Yummy.
Oh my God, they're so good.
Also, Katie and I are recording this at lunchtime. So this is our lunch today.
Seriously. We blew right through lunchtime, so.
Did you ever I don't know if y'all do this with chips or Doritos especially, lick the flavor off the chip before you eat it?
No, I've heard of people doing that. But that was never. I've heard these people exist. Well, have you heard the Kelly Clarkson story?
No.
That's her thing. She talks about how she just licks the seasoning off and just puts them back in the bag.
Oh!
Yeah. I mean, not for other people to eat. She throws them away, but yeah, that's her thing.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I went viral a couple of years ago.
I did not know that, but no, I used to do that as a kid. I would lick all the seasoning off and then eat the chip. I used to do that with pizza too. I would eat all the toppings off and then eat the weird.
Wow,
I know.
That's not weird. I mean, I'm sure that's pretty common. Okay, I'm gonna.
Katie's like, I've heard of people like that.
I'm like, and I'm gonna put my
her face was
down.
like, no. Sorry. Somebody out there is going to be like, yes, I
I've
do
heard
that.
Of people like that, like Kelly Clarkson. And
Okay.
then you said gross.
So Cool Ranch Doritos.
Hooray, winner. Oh, I guess I don't need to open my next one yet because I'm going to talk about it first. So mine, for a little bit of a side detour from the Cool Ranch Doritos, we've actually talked about mine before in an episode. And I don't know if that will narrow it down enough for listeners, but we talked about it in the Can't Hardly Wait episode.
Yes!
And it was the very breakfast item I was consuming at that moment. The frosted strawberry Pop-Tart.
Yes. So many of my mornings.
There it goes.
So many of my mornings involved this exact breakfast pastry.
Pastry.
Sorry.
Pastry, yes. And that is exactly what it is. So, so I was just going to say, I loved Pop-Tarts. I found Pop-Tarts in, high school. I don't remember, eating them
really?
at home. Yeah. But our high school, you could buy them at lunch, super filling or whatever. And because I was involved in like so much stuff, if I bought lunch, like I really didn't like go through the line and like sit down. So I just remember like literally eating like a strawberry Pop-Tart for lunch for like, I don't know, 2 years of my life.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had to take a break from Pop-Tarts for a few years there. But I don't eat them too much now, but like I do love a good strawberry Pop-Tart. And when I was pregnant with my youngest, I craved them and ate a lot of them.
I don't honestly right now, I don't remember the last time I've had Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's been that long. But I mean, I even remember before they had the frosted Pop-Tarts. Like we used to eat the kind without the frosting. So I'm excited to hear your trivia.
Yeah. So in case you don't know, Pop-Tarts are a brand of toaster pastries produced and distributed by, this is funny, it's produced and distributed by Kellanova.
Oh.
It used to be Kellogg's, and just in the past few years, they've like kind of broken up the business and certain brands went with certain parts of the business. So there's this whole other business called Kellanova now. So that's who they're owned by. And they came on the scene in 1964. And they have a sweet filling sealed inside 2 layers of thin rectangular pastry crust. Most varieties are also frosted. They are sold pre-cooked, but they're designed to fit into the toaster or microwave so you can eat them warm, but you don't have to.
What's your preferred way of eating a Pop-Tart?
I just like it normal, right out
straight
of the package.
Out of the package?
Yeah, straight out of the package. I don't really like to toast it.
I used to eat them toasted when I was a kid, and even before they had the frosting, I would put butter on it.
Yeah, so that's a thing too. Like there's a couple things I found on that. But the start of these was this guy named William Post. And at first I thought of like Post Foods.
Yeah.
No relation to that whatsoever. He actually worked for Kellogg's. And he was born in 1927. So this is crazy. I think it's crazy. To Dutch immigrant parents, he was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's where I was born. Grand Rapids, Michigan.
What? Father of Pop-Tarts and Katie.
And me. And it says his favorite flavor? Strawberry frosted. Of all the Pop-Tarts. What's going on?
It's meant to be.
And in the 60s, he enlisted his own kids, then ages 13 and 11, to taste test. And he had this idea of like kind of breakfast on the go. You know, society was becoming more and more mobile, 2 parents working, that sort of thing. And so they were really looking for ways, kind of like when cereal became really popular, to kind of have quick breakfast. So this was one. And when they debuted in 64, they just had 4 flavors and they were unfrosted. Strawberry, blueberry, brown sugar, cinnamon,
I remember
and
that one.
apple.
Yeah, I remember apple.
I don't remember apple.
Yeah.
And then the frosting came along a few years later, which was also Post's idea. But they were initially called something else. They were initially called fruit scones.
What?
Yeah.
Doesn't even look like a scone.
But Kellogg marketing department knew that was not the one.
I thought you were going to say British people were like, what?
Don't take our fruit scones. Is that what you mean?
Yes, I was just waiting to see what accent was coming out.
Where is this going to go? All I've had is one Dorito and I'm falling apart. Okay. So the name Pop-Tart actually was inspired by famous pop painter Andy Warhol.
Really?
Yes, and the pop art movement.
Oh, I thought it just because it popped out of a toaster.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me too. So it kind of has a couple of meanings. And then tart, obviously, like a pastry.
Yeah.
So kind of like your dude who had the Doritos sprinkled over. So this guy, this William Post, was like so proud that he invented Pop-Tarts. He would like go speak to like entrepreneurs like at business schools. Well, I did this, so you can do this. I found all these articles about it.
Fun.
He drove a sports car with a license plate that said Pop-Tart.
Yes. I thought it was going to say like Pop-Tart
and
Dad.
He would always have like his trunk full of them and he would just like give them to people.
Pop-Tarts?
Yes. Like hand them out. Or like he'd be like speaking to colleges and he'd be like, by the way.
And you get a Pop-Tart. And you get a Pop-Tart.
Right. You gotta be careful when you're like throwing those out there. You know what's going to happen with a stray Pop-Tart. But these were obviously popular at the time. They're still very popular. As of this year, 2024, there are over 24 standard Pop-Tart flavors.
What?
Some of the newer ones include hot fudge sundae, s'mores, raspberry. Oh, you're going to love this one.
Oh, no.
Grape.
Ew. I don't like grape flavor stuff.
It's kind of like, why? But so this is another one because they are, a lot of people, I know we keep these on hand for hurricane preparedness because they stay good for so long. You don't have to cook them. They're pre-cooked.
Yeah.
There's just like a lot of staying power and preservatives.
Well, when you were saying in the intro, this is a side note, of like all of our snacks have staying power. I'm like, it's probably because the 80s were full of food preservative creation. That's why.
Honestly, I think the Pop-Tart is like such a good example.
Facts.
Because even once you open the package and it sits out, like you could eat it a week or two later or more and be totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that you would want to, but yeah. So because of that, there's some interesting trivia here.
Oh, yay.
Well, this one's not a yay, unfortunately.
Oh, or no.
Like,
she's going to say, and Pop-Tarts kill you. Great.
Well, I guess they might, but in 2001, 2.4 million Pop-Tarts were dropped by plane to Afghanistan after the initial attack as like humanitarian aid.
Wow.
Can you imagine 2.4 million Pop-Tarts?
Jeez.
But then on a little bit of a lighter note, and this is crazy because this literally just came out in May 2024. Jerry Seinfeld wrote, directed, produced, and starred in a fictionalized retelling about the creator of Pop-Tarts, William Post, and the film's called Unfrosted.
What?
It's on Netflix.
Okay, I'm
It was
finding it.
released like a month ago.
All right, well, guess I'll be watching that.
And what's interesting, you know, it's one of those like we have to take his story back.
Yeah.
The Pop-Tart creator. Because officially, Kellogg's doesn't have him listed as the creator. They have like two other people.
Oh, it's like the Happy Meal.
Yeah. But he worked for them still for like ever. But I guess after he died, I guess Kellogg's did put out some statement that was like, oh, yes, he was very influential in the creator. But like the two men that are credited, if it were like, you know, VPs of whatever. And he was like, I don't know, someone experimenting with foods in the kitchen. So, but I think it was William Post.
Well, we're going to give you credit,
personally.
William Post.
Yeah. Okay, it's time to give her a try. Are you okay eating one out of here?
You know what? I was
God, they're so
teasing Katie
crinkly.
earlier because we were talking about things being in foil or cellophane. But look, it says on the box, straight from the foil.
My research said foil.
See? But that's cellophane that just looks like foil.
Yeah, I mean, so foil to me has that like really hard like texture. This is like this is almost plasticky, like plastic wrap.
I'm just not even going to look at any of the ingredients of anything we're eating today.
Don't do it. Okay.
You want me to take a whole Pop-Tart?
Yeah.
You were very hesitant.
I was like, maybe a quarter?
Gosh, she was like, I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. My kids always want me to buy these. I hardly ever buy them. So
good. We'll give
I'm only
one to
going to
your
eat a couple
son.
bites and then
Give the
I'll
rest
give
to
the rest
him.
to Cooper because
Oh, he'll be so happy. He's probably hungry. Okay.
he brought snacks out there.
Well, not Pop-Tarts.
But not, you're right. Okay, I'm ready. I haven't had one of these
All
in
right, let's
so
do
many
it.
years. Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Tastes like 1988.
It really does. And when they're just cold like this out of the foil / cellophane, they're really something.
All right. Pop-Tarts still slap. I can't lie.
They're pretty good, I gotta say.
They're still tasty.
Uh-huh. I
Well,
would say they're like a comfort food for me because
they're
of,
definitely like dessert for breakfast, which is like donuts and scones. And
fruit scones. They are fruit scones, Dani.
they don't taste like a fruit scone, but they are delish.
They do not. All right. Well, let's set that over.
Yum.
That was good.
And you know,
Trying it.
something that used to drive me crazy when I would eat these hot and you take out the toaster is the little holes in the side. I would like burn my fingers on the when the strawberry like gel would come out.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, because you said you like to eat them cold, so
And I think too because I would just eat them at lunch. I couldn't toast them. That's cool.
oh yeah,
So I think I just got used to just rip it open and eat it.
yeah.
So anyway,
All right.
that was yummy.
Well, that was fun. Yay,
That was
Pop-Tarts.
Hooray, Pop-Tarts.
So I am on a snack that was released in 1990.
Ooh.
Okay, and this one is, I forgot about how much I loved it, and I haven't had one probably since the 90s, so I'm pumped. Dunkaroos.
Yum.
Do you know these?
I definitely ate these when I was like a teen.
So 80s and 90s, well, I'm going to say 80s, even though this was made in 1990, like it's almost, it was all about quick convenience,
Yep.
preservatives, right? That's all the foods. If people are like nowadays are like grossed out about stuff we ate, look, that was a way of the land. So whatever.
Yeah.
So here it is. Dunkaroos were released by Betty Crocker in 1990. They're a snack-sized package containing little bitty mini cookies and a small serving of frosting.
Yum.
Yeah, so you're supposed to like dunk the cookie into the frosting, right? Like you know those little cheese packs, like with the crackers and cheese. Same kind of premise. So I have some like fun info about the Dunkaroos. So the original mascot for this product, because why would you not have a mascot for a food product in the 80s and 90s?
You have to, and I hope it's an animal.
It is.
I knew it.
It was a cartoon kangaroo named Sydney.
Aw.
But here's the thing. It was a caricature of modern Australian culture.
Uh-oh.
So he wore a hat, a vest, a tie, and a spoke with an Australian accent. So he was kind of like Crocodile Dundee, except a cartoon kangaroo for cookies.
Oh.
Yeah. So at the height of their popularity in 1996, though, a contest known as Dunkaroo's Kangaroo Kangahoo Search
Oh my God.
was held, resulting in a new mascot named Duncan, the Duncan Daredevil.
Cute.
Okay. So still a kangaroo, but away with the cultural appropriation.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was shocking for 1996.
That they would even be like, we need to do that.
Right.
As a little
There's
side
probably to
note,
make money, but
true.
yeah.
Well, I worked at an Outback Steakhouse in 2006, 2007 still. And it was very like, good day, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Da, 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 da. And the names of the foods were all very like, oh. And I was in one recently and I was like, where's the, walkabout soup?
Yeah.
And the da, 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 da. And all the names have been changed. And I was like, oh,
right.
They finally like
you fixed your
realized
life.
maybe. And it wasn't even like Australian men who, like I did a little bit of a rabbit hole when I worked there, or they tell you who invented it. It was like 2 American guys.
Of course it was.
So it's like, yeah, okay, maybe we shouldn't do this. And Dunkaroos was probably part of that whole
100%.
thing. Yeah.
But by the way, I love Outback.
I do too. I was actually happy. I was like, oh, we should go sometime.
Oh, we should.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. So these little snack packets, I brought one for each of us. They contain about 10 small cookies and 1 cubic inch of frosting. Okay.
Okay.
The cookies were made in a variety of shapes. They had a circle with an uppercase D in the center. Woo woo. But now that's the only shape that you can get now. But they used to have that one. Plus, they had like some kangaroo feet. Mm-hmm. They also had the mascot that was in different poses, which is what I remember, kind of like Animal Cracker.
Yeah.
And they had a hot air balloon, which I don't
remember
why.
that.
But whatever. So here's the thing about Dunkaroos. They were discontinued in the United States in 2012, but they continued to be sold in Canada.
Okay.
And in 2016, General Mills announced a campaign called Smuggleroos.
Oh boy.
Where they encouraged Canadians traveling to the U.S. to bring the snack to Americans who wanted them.
That's cute.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yes.
So Dunkaroos continued being sold in Canada until January 2018 with no comment by General Mills.
Oh my God.
But here's the thing. In May of 2020, Dunkaroos started to be produced again, and they started arriving at 7-Eleven stores, and then they were brought to other stores like Walmart, Target, Kroger a few months afterwards. And the new single-serving package went from 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces, and the sugar was reduced significantly. So even though the cookies were bigger, the sugar was taken out a little bit. Okay, so whatever.
I think that evens out.
Something fun I found out was that in July of 2020, so not too much longer after my notes got frozen. What are you doing, computer? Okay. In July of 2020, not too much longer after they re-released, they came out with limited edition 90s merch.
Ooh.
Yeah, based on the brand. And each order you placed on their website came with a pack of Dunkaroos.
Fun.
It's not there anymore because, like I said, it's limited release. But I looked on eBay. So they're like jackets and like shirts and stuff. They're like hundreds of dollars now.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was like limited edition retro stuff. Yeah.
Which I was like, that's fun. And they had like hats. So Dina and Patrick may know lots about that. I don't know. Maybe they have.
We should add that to the list of things we want to ask. Have you seen Dunkaroos gear?
And Dunkaroos merch.
Yes.
It's cute too. Like if you look at it's all the bright colors and stuff. Because you can see on the package, it's turquoise, it's got some purple, like sprinkle things. So here we go. You ready to have some cookies and frosting?
I am. I love cookies and frosting.
Oh my gosh.
How did you know?
You can buy these everywhere. They have them mostly by checkout counters.
Okay.
Like in gas stations and grocery stores.
It's like a little quick snack. All right.
Yes.
Wow, they're hard to open. Okay.
Oh, they are hard to open. Lame. It took us both like 3 tries.
It did.
Okay, the
it's
frosting
so
looks kind of
cute.
gross though.
The frosting's like got little sprinkles in it. It's so cute. Okay.
It's like that, that rainbow funfetti frosting? That's what it is.
That's what it tastes like too, by the way. Don't you think?
Okay, well, anything with frosting, I'm a huge frosting person.
I like
are you?
frosting too. Yeah.
Some people are like, if I have cake, I scrape all the frosting off. I'm like, I want the piece with the most frosting.
Mm-hmm. I'll leave the cake and I'll just eat the frosting, which my family thinks is a little gross, but
You'll do what?
like leave the cake.
Oh, same.
Just eat the frosting around the edges.
I will take frosting from my husband's plate and add it to my cake.
Mm-hmm. I love
So we're the grossest cake people ever.
We are. So don't sit by us at a birthday party.
If you don't love frosting, get off the bus. All right.
All right, I'm gonna eat one more.
Okay, these are really good, but they're really sweet.
It's like, you
Well-
know when something's sweet and like your cheeks like start tingling.
No, but I get
All right, listeners, if that's just a me thing, let me know. It was like so sweet that your mouth like has a reaction. I'm having that to Dunkaroos. Okay.
I couldn't even keep the thing. We have a very interesting mess happening.
I did eat all of my Pop-Tart though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, while you were talking. I
just kept eating it. You're like, you don't have to.
and then it was gone.
I'm actually going to start a new plate in a minute because I'm going to save.
You're overflowing.
Save my scraps for my son. All right, so those were Dunkers. I will say anything with like frosting as a snack is probably not the best.
Probably not the best, but sometimes like you said, like
But
by
it's a
checkout
great
counters and stuff, it's just a quick.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need. I mean, there's candy bars. Like, what's the difference?
I know.
You might as well get something like that.
Facts. And I
Fun little
am not kidding. Like if you ever make a cake at home and you have like the canned frosting, I will dip me a spoon up in some frosting and eat it.
Yeah,
Like you do in a peanut butter jar,
but frosting.
but frosting.
Erin does that.
Oh, I'm so
She'll
gross.
search. I've seen her like looking through the cupboards. I'm like, what are you looking for? Frosting.
I just need a scoop.
I'm like, Well, while we're on a sweet kick,
Okay, yeah. What's next?
so I guess I'll do 2 in a row.
Oh.
because
Ooh, oh, boy.
mine are
Oh, because they're related.
they're related, and some of like the facts about them kind of intertwine. And mine are 2 Little Debbie snacks.
Yes.
One is the Star Crunch, and the other are Swiss rolls. I
don't
thought they
love
were
those as
called.
much.
I thought those were called Swiss cake rolls, but they're not.
They're not.
They're called
Quiz cake rolls.
Say it with me. Oh no, the frosting is starting to hit you guys. They're just called Swiss rolls. Swiss. Emphasis on the S. Anyway, yeah. Well, let's start with Star Crunch. That was the one I couldn't find. So I swear, like, I've seen them everywhere because I love them.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'll be
same.
like, oh, Star Crunch in. And I'm not going to get it. Like, do I really need a Star Crunch? No, I don't. Blah, blah,
The
blah.
answer should be always yes.
Should be yes. And now it's going to be because I'm thinking for the show, I went 4 different places by my house and couldn't find it. My husband looked a couple places. I think he even went to some of the same places I did because he didn't believe that like it wasn't there. And he's like, "You're right. They don't have it at Dollar General." I'm like, "I know. I was there.
I totally looked.
But Danny this morning was able to find it at Wawa,
Yeah.
and it's probably like. The Walmart by me is smaller. So it's probably at like normal size Walmart. It's in Targets. I don't have a Target by me either.
Yeah.
So it's like I just went to Dollar General's, CVS, Publix, gas stations.
I'm
But anyway,
surprised Publix didn't have it. Come on, Publix.
I didn't have it, but that's where I got my
Lame.
Swiss
My
rolls.
Swiss cake rolls.
Oh no.
The funny thing was, ironically, I had when Katie texted me this morning, I had a client fairly early this morning, and on my way home, I went to the Super Walmart. Katie and I live in very different areas, and I went to the Super Walmart by my house, which also has a Super Target right across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was just there. And I
Yeah.
didn't have time to go back because, there's no quick trip to Walmart or Target. Like, it takes
no.
forever. So I was like, okay, let me try and go to the Wawa. And they had it.
Yay. So we get to try them.
Let's talk about 'em.
Okay, so Little Debbie. So the company as a whole has its start all the way back in 1933.
Really?
Yeah. This guy, O.D. McKee. He began, yeah, that's his name. O like the letter.
I was thinking Odie, like Garfield.
No. But I don't know what his full name was, but it just is
So it's O period, D period.
McKee.
Okay.
he began selling 5-cent cakes for a bakery where he worked, and he used his truck as a delivery truck, so he would take it places. And so in 1935, it was the middle of the Great Depression, and McKee had this idea to experiment with hard oatmeal cookies and then kind of he made them softer, he put them together, he put cream in the middle, and that was the first oatmeal cream pie back in 1935. Yes, so he continued kind of selling it under that name until 1960.
Wow.
When Little Debbie as a brand was created.
Okay.
So he was still selling them and all of that, but this is when it actually got branded. And Little Debbie is named after his granddaughter,
Cute.
Debbie. And this is what it said.
Obvi.
Who would be the perfect face for his delicious treats.
Aw.
Which is so, so sweet. And then a portrait of Debbie, right? It's not a photo. It's like a painting, was commissioned. And then that's the one we still see today.
Cute.
So that brings me to one of the items I brought today.
Yes.
Swiss rolls, 1962. So after they spanned out. So it's all oatmeal cream pie until the brand was established. And then Swiss rolls were the very next thing. So the reason they got the name is because McKee took a trip to a European trade show looking for the next big thing. And he saw versions of this there, right? So this is kind of a popular way to make pastries around the world.
Okay.
Where you kind of got this pound cake that has a filling. And then he went ahead and put like more of like a crusty chocolate outside. And so by 1964, so only 4 years after they came into existence, most of the Little Debbie things we know and love already existed.
Oh.
Oatmeal cream pies, Swiss rolls, zebra cakes, raisin cream pies, Nutty Buddy.
Raisin cream pie. Nobody wants that. Is that a snack?
It's listed. I've never had one. Oatmeal, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Raisin
for sure.
cream pies. Is that a thing? It says that we know and love. Anyway.
We'll have to look for that. Sorry.
So that's where those came from. And then in 1970,
Okay.
so you can kind of guess
Yeah.
why these are called Star Crunch. We've talked about
Space race.
Yeah, we've talked about this with other like capitalistic ventures that you put like Starburst was one.
Yes.
Anything with the space race, you could like market it that way. So it says Star Crunch snacks blast off. They were actually originally called Star Crunch Cosmic Cookies.
Oh, like the Cosmic Brownie.
Yes. And then they changed to Moon Crunch snacks.
Love.
But then they were finally settled in 1972 and named Star Crunch.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you haven't had one before, a Star Crunch has layers of crispy rice, cereal, caramel, and chocolate. And it's kind of this like kind of crispy, kind of chewy snack.
Mm-hmm.
And then I already mentioned the Swiss cake is a sponge cake. And that sort of thing. So that's it. That's all I have on those. It was just one guy who made oatmeal cream pies, and then 30 years later decided to have a brand, and his granddaughter is forever famous.
I love that. You know what's interesting is that besides Dunkaroos, well, I guess Cool Ranch Doritos were 1986. I'm saying a lot of like the foundation for these snacks was not in our childhood time. That's just when they were heavily marketed, I guess.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't wait to eat this. Katie's so excited that I found these. Although,
let's do the Star Crunch first.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Now I remember Star Crunches in my lunchbox. Like this was like a lunchbox staple, Little Debbie snacks of any kind.
This is big though, right? Were they always this big?
No, the ones that you can buy in the box like that are smaller. This is the gas station version.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was like, am I misremembering? But I don't remember them because they would be in my lunch, but it was just like a small.
Yeah, these are like a king size. So here's the thing though. You know what I think Star Crunch tastes like? In my memory, I also haven't had one of these in years, is like a Rice Krispie treat dipped in chocolate. That's what they taste like to me.
Okay. Yeah. And I like the caramel. Like, I like anything with caramel.
Me too. All
right, so here we go. That's
yummy.
Good. These are really good. Oh my gosh.
It tastes like a whatchamacallit.
Very similar. I feel like the texture is a little different. Or do you think it's the same? I don't know. I can't tell.
I don't know, but all I know is it's delicious.
It's really good. Awesome. All right. While you take another bite, I will pull out a Swiss cake. Oh, nope. Swiss roll. I'll just pause and let the cake just be said in my head. I used to do that for a daughter's teacher of mine. I couldn't get his last name right. So then I remembered a word it rhymed with. So I'd say Mr. and then I'd pause and say the word it rhymed with before I go, Mr. Smith or whatever the name was. And I still do it. She's like, you really still don't know his name? I'm like, no, I just like the dramatic pause.
I could seriously sit here and scarf down this whole thing. I'm not going to.
It's so good.
Because
we have to do the Swiss roll. See? I did it. Okay, these are hard to open. You might have to grab your own package just because I don't want to gunk up.
Oh, here, I've got napkins.
Okay, good. Thank God.
I know.
So if you tuned in for candy, you know we didn't have plates. We didn't have napkins. We did have trash. Which was needed.
I brought napkins and plates.
I'll take this kind of gunky
Here.
one. Here, let me just take this guy that I kind of ruined.
While you're doing that, I'm going to hand this out the door.
Yeah, hand it out the door. So Dani brought very colorful plates, which was amazing. And then we've got these, like, we'll take a picture.
Yes.
These very bright and rainbow-esque napkins that say, "You're magical," which is very fun. I should take a picture of this, guys, listeners, because it's like this beautiful, bright napkin and then this, like, kind of boring Swiss roll in the middle. All right, I promise I haven't touched that one.
That's okay.
Cooper will be so happy to have his snacks.
I brought him my plate, and he went, "Dang!"
And that's just the beginning.
All the foods we don't have in our house regularly. Okay, here we go. Swiss cake roll. These are like my probably not one of my favorite Little Debbie's.
I like these. I think they're good.
But okay, they're not bad.
They're not bad, right? I don't like pound cake generally, but I think it's like the combination of the cream, maybe, and the chocolate.
And the chocolate covering helps.
Chocolate helps. If it was just like literal pound cake, I'd be like, no thanks.
Okay, these are better than I remember. I think I can appreciate these more as a grown-up than a kid.
Look at that.
You know why? Because the pound cake is kind of dry-ish, and maybe it bothered me as a child. I don't know.
It could be. There's no frosting on pound cake normally. But the Swiss rolls have like that little bit of, it's not frosting, but it's that idea, right? That filling. It's the same idea as frosting.
Yeah.
Pretty
okay.
good.
Oh, my stomach just made a noise at me like, what's happening at lunchtime today, Dani?
This is not our normal scheduled program. That was really good. And I'm happy that you liked it.
Yes,
That makes
look at
me
that.
happy.
There's growth. Ugh.
What?
The way I said that was really yucky.
Oh, I was like, wait, you don't like it now?
No. I had like marshmallows stuck in my, or filling or whatever it is, stuck in my throat. Yes. Growth. Taste buds. All right. Moving on.
So you're going to have to do two because we have to save this one for the last one.
Okay.
Because I just did two. So what are you going to do first?
All right. Well, they both start with F. So, well, that's great.
Let's do it.
So I've got a salty and a sweet. So we'll do that. So first one, the next one is one that my sister said was as my number one snack when I asked her the question, right?
Oh.
And it was Funyuns.
Yes.
Okay. So Funyuns, everybody, is an onion flavored ring shaped corn snack made to resemble an onion ring. All right.
Yes.
I loved these so much. Do not eat these if you want to have good breath. Actually, don't eat any of this stuff if you want to have good breath because you're not going to have it. These actually were introduced in the U.S. in 1969, which is not what I expected. I thought they came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that either.
Again, another Frito-Lay product. It was created by a Frito-Lay employee named George Wade Binger, which is just fun to say.
Binger.
Okay, so actually, I'm going to get a little, you're going to like this, sciencey with how these are made, because they're made kind of interestingly. So Funyuns are made of cornmeal, actually, and it's shaped into rings through an extrusion process, which I'll explain in a second. So that leads to a product that has kind of a fried food type texture, and it also makes it possible for Funyuns to have like that onion ring shape, like I just mentioned. So here's the deal. The process kind of starts with the cornmeal, which is mixed up with water in a giant hopper, which is just a word they use in food production places for like big giant mixy things.
Okay.
And that creates the batter. Then the extrusion machine both kneads and heats the batter along with a central screw.
Wow.
So you can probably picture that in your head. So
Yeah.
it kneads it and it heats it with the screw thing. And then the dough continues to warm up as it kind of flows. So then it's forced through a chamber and it hits a lower atmospheric pressure, causing the dough to rapidly expand. Okay. So this is like way more intricate in sciencey things, or I guess this isn't really science. This is like engineering. I don't know. Than I usually go. But now that happens, it creates kind of a popcorn effect that puffs up the dough and cooks it instantly.
Wow.
Yeah. So that also provides Funyuns with its like distinct onion ring shape and the crunch.
Yes.
The crunch that it has as it lands on the production line. So before it's even seasoned, it's like that. So then they're expected to make sure they're all uniform. Okay. Which that would be a really interesting job, right?
Are they all uniform though?
I mean, I think just to make sure they're onion ring shaped.
And they're like relatively the same size.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And then they travel through the fryer where they get just a gentle coating of flavor before going through a drum where then a salt and onion mix gives the Funyun flavor. So they get a little bit of something and then they get another something. Okay. So they were actually named Funyuns. This is kind of a fun by a University of North Texas professor and a copywriter named Jim Albright. He is one person. Sorry, it sounded like I was saying a professor and a copywriter. No, one man, two jobs.
Yes.
Sorry.
I feel that.
After Frito-Lay figured out the first choice of the name for the product, which was Onyums.
Wait, what?
So think of onion. So it was capital O-N.
Yums.
Capital Y-U-M-S.
Okay.
That's weird. Doesn't roll off the tongue, right? Yeah. But actually, it was already a registered trademark of something else.
Oh.
Right?
So it is a smart name after all.
Well, maybe not because you didn't know it. Me either.
Yeah.
So anyway, this professor and the copywriter came up with the name Funyuns. So
Cute.
well done. The first advertising for Funyuns was in, like I said, what year did I say? 1969? Yeah. Was accompanied by a song sung by a lady named Susan Christie, and it was called I Love Onions.
That was the song?
That was the song.
But these aren't actually onions. It's onion flavor.
Onion flavor. They're not actually onions. No. And my last little bit of trivia related to Funyuns before we chomp down on them.
Yes.
In Brazil, they are sold under the name Cibolitos. I don't know what that means. I meant to look that up and I forgot, so I apologize. But anyways, that's about our little friend, the Funyun.
Like even the bag to me, and I mean, I'm sure they've had updates over time, but like even the bag to me looks like 80s. Like it does not, or maybe late 70s. It does not look like anything born of the 1960s.
Well, I don't know if that's the original bag.
It might not be.
But I totally thought those were created in the 80s and wrong. They've been around for a long time.
I don't really remember eating these as like a kid or a teen.
Oh, I loved them.
I knew of their existence, but I just don't remember eating them. But one of my teens loves these. And there was one time we were like, I was watching a movie at home or something. I had my own snack and they had a snack. And I reached over and I was like, let me try one. And I was like, this is really good.
Yes.
Like these are delicious.
Teenagers know snack foods.
They do.
See?
Should have trusted.
All right, here we go. You ready? Here we go.
Oh boy.
There's nothing like a chip bag opening. Just gotta say.
Like a chip bag. I hope all of you are eating some chips or some Swiss rolls or something delicious snack related.
I know.
I think my plate ran out of room.
I know. I put more plates right there if you need another one.
Another one, yeah. Okay, let me just grab a few.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. So here we go.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go.
Gotta cover up the crunching with the bag.
I know. Crunch, crunch.
Yeah, they're good.
So there's actually no onion at all involved in... it lies. Onion powder.
Onion powder. There you go.
I was just looking at the ingredients to see if it's... But the trademark on the back of the bag says 1987, so I don't know.
So maybe they redid their logo or something then, and that's what that means. Weird. Or they renewed their trademark.
I know.
Could be.
Oh, also, another little fun trivia. They actually have like a bunch of recipes that involve crunched up Funyuns.
It's like a whole genre.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's like lots of crunchy things. Captain Crunch is another one.
Oh.
You can find all these different like things people make with Captain Crunch, and it's not just desserts. It's like real meals and stuff. Well,
ew.
As much as it can be a real meal, I guess, with Captain Crunch. But yeah, there's like this whole culinary side of snack foods.
There you
stuff
go.
That exist. Cool.
Oh, I'm supposed to do 2 in a row. Sorry.
Yes, you're back.
So I will stop chomping on Funyuns. My apologies to any fellow misophonia sufferers out there. Because we're trying, but I know it's translating over the mic. So if it annoys you, I apologize because I feel your pain. Okay.
Feels it.
My next one also is in my lunchbox all the time. Fruit roll-ups.
Yay, I love these.
This one was invented in the 80s, okay? This story is so 80s. I just can't wait to share.
Ooh.
And even the box is super 80s, and we'll get there. All right, so to explain, fruit roll-ups are a flat corn syrup-based, fruit-flavored snack. That's important to know.
Okay.
Rolled into a tube, spread on a backing sheet of cellophane to prevent the product from sticking to itself. So that is so 80s. I can't even.
Cellophane, fruit,
corn syrup,
flavored corn syrup rolled up
into a tube.
Into a tube.
Yes. Okay. So it debuted in U.S. grocery stores in 1983. But General Mills started researching to create the product in 1975. So it took them a few years to get that science just right. Get those food additives going.
Yes, exactly.
So fruit roll-ups, which as 80s kids, they were heavily marketed in the United States on TV, especially during like cartoons and such. In the early 1980s, most spots had the tagline, "Real fruit and fun rolled up in one." And later spots in the later 80s, they had children in the Fruit Roll-Up Fun Factory. Do you remember those commercials?
No.
I bet if you looked them up, you'd remember.
I'd be like, oh yeah, this adds up.
I remember those commercials. So the overall marketing theme for Fruit Roll-Ups is that parents can feed their children, quote unquote, fun processed foods that are based on real fruit.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Fruit-based food.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Studies of American mothers have shown that they are surprised at how sweet fruit roll-ups are and how little fruit is present.
Right.
Right. Because they're marketed like they're this like healthy fruit snack, right?
I mean, it's kind of like fruit snacks, too. You're basically eating candy.
Right. Yeah. So, for example, the strawberry flavor has 0 strawberries in it. The only ingredient derived from fruit at all is concentrated pear juice. That's it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And actually in 2011, the Center for Science in the Public Interest sued General Mills over fruit roll-ups, saying their packaging and marketing was misleading because it presented the product as a nutritious, healthful, fruit-filled snack, despite having approximately the same nutritional profile as gummy bears.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the lawsuit was actually settled out of court. General Mills agreed not to put pictures of fruit on the label anymore. As you can see, look at the box. No picture of fruit anywhere, right?
No, and it does say fruit flavored.
Fruit flavored. Yep. Unless they don't have the fruit on there, unless the fruit was actually present in that flavor of fruit roll-up. It had to be in that flavor, not just in any fruit roll-ups total. And they either had to stop claiming the product is made with real fruit or to include that potentially misleading statement. Wait, what did I have a typo. Sorry. Or to include in. I don't know what I typed there. Sorry, that makes 0 sense. Anyway, what they had to do, they had to stop claiming it. Oh, they had to stop claiming that it was made with real fruit, or they had to include that of the percentage that is made with real fruit. Like, I think, sometimes, let me look at the box. It says like only has 10% of fruit or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't say that anywhere on here. So 2% less of citric acid, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, got it.
So that's what it has to say. Sorry, my typing was super weird. So all of that happened. All the changes took place in 2014.
Okay.
So now what's on the shelf is very different than what we had.
Yeah.
When we were growing up.
That's so funny because when I look at that, I just assume I'm looking at the front of the package and that I'm looking at fruit.
I know, right?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's like a strawberry and like a banana on there. But actually, it's like a microphone and sunglasses and a game controller.
And it's like very retro, the box is right now. Yeah.
That too.
So the funny thing is, let's see. Well, you can pick out whatever flavor you want. But the funny thing is, Katie, what does it say it has with it? Fruit roll-ups with
tongue tattoos.
Yeah, so that became like a big thing of marketing too, where you could like lick the fruit roll up and put a tattoo on your tongue. Cooper actually just told us that kids at school still do that, but they lick them and stick them on their arms. So that's disgusting and something elementary kids are gross about. Here you go.
Yes.
So the flavors you can pick from are blue raspberry, strawberry blast, or tropical tie-dye.
What'd you take?
I just grabbed one.
No. Okay.
Oh, I have blue raspberry.
I'm just going to grab one too. And I have something else. I don't know.
Okay, so we shall try and do these tongue tattoos. Is there directions? Like, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It says choose it, stick it, show it. Okay, so I guess we just stick it.
Okay.
That is so funny. I need a shirt that says that.
Stick it, show it. Oh my God, please don't wear that.
No, I'm just kidding. I would never wear that. Actually, I would, but
you
it's
literally just, oh boy.
This is, you got the tie-dye one.
I did, accidentally.
Oh boy. Oh my God.
Do I literally pull it off of here?
Well, you have to... Yeah. So you know how I'm going to show you the way I used to eat this as a kid. This is so, but I'm going to do my tongue tattoo first.
Okay.
I think you just go like this. Ready?
Literally. Oh, I took it off the cellophane. Well, let's see what happens.
All right.
Should be okay. Huh.
Did it work?
Am I?
No, all I see is blue bar.
I did mine wrong, you guys.
Did mine work?
Yeah, do it again.
You can let me see. Well, I licked it now.
Oh, yeah, I could see it.
Did you know what it was?
It was blue something. But it was a shape.
It was a peace symbol.
Okay, it was a shape. Let me try again.
So yeah, you just imprint your tongue on the thing. While she's doing that, I'm going to tell you about the way I used to eat these. It's so gross and such like a weird kid thing. I was a weird kid, guys.
It's all right. I mean, it is.
I mean, I'm a weird grown up, so it checks.
No, I was going to say, you turned out great.
So,
to all you weird kids out there.
My mom used to always say
Stay weird.
My mom used to always say weird people make life more interesting. So,
she would say that to you.
Well, she's weird too. So our whole family's weird.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I don't know what's
all right,
going
Katie
on.
is making a mess. I don't know what.
I'm just going to try. I'm just going for it. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Tongue tattoos are funny. Is it a penguin? What is it?
It's a flower. A penguin.
I was like, that's a weird choice for a fruit roll-up tattoo.
Then, this one's off the side. And that one's there,
yeah.
So I kind of don't have any other options.
Okay, well, I can see why that's fun. Okay, so those were really popular in the late 80s, early 90s, the fruit roll-up tongue tattoos, which I guess are now a thing.
They're back.
The thing about fruit roll-ups is there's no non-messy way to eat them.
True.
You get sticky no matter what you do. Mm-hmm. This is how me and my friends in elementary school used to eat these.
Okay, I'm going to describe, unless you're describing.
You ready? It's so stupid. This is how we used to do it. Okay. I'm not actually going to eat this the way I used to. I'm just going to show you. Okay.
So she's wrapping it around her index finger.
And then...
and pressing on it so it's sticking to her finger like a tube or like a really long fingernail.
So this is so gross. So we would... we would make these giant long pointy finger things where we would take it and roll it over our pointer finger. And then it almost looks like a big witch finger. You remember those witch fingers? Yeah. And then we just eat it. I'm not going to actually do this because it's actually disgusting. We would eat it from our finger and then we'd just lick it and eat it off of our finger. Elementary kids, man, they're gross.
Innovative though. I will say.
Okay, so maybe it was just me and my friends. So I am going to eat the tip of the finger.
Okay. You do that. Just the tip.
I don't love fruit roll-ups. Did you just say just the tip?
I didn't know if you heard me. She's like, wait a second.
Man.
Too much sugar. Anyway.
I don't love fruit roll-ups.
I don't either. It was
you don't?
I literally just ate the whole thing, but
I hate this.
Bye. No, I'm not. I that was enjoyable, but I don't go out of my way to. If I'm having a snack, that would not be my first choice. Are you okay? Don't worry. I'm gonna bring the mood way down with my last one.
I don't like fruit. I don't like fruit roll-ups because I'm not a big fruit flavor snack sweet person. I want chocolate,
and I am
right,
but. I'd rather just have Starburst or something I didn't have to unwrap.
Maybe if you wrapped it on your finger and made a witch finger out of it.
I really should try that. I'll just be walking around my house. Everyone will be like,
no,
look what I learned, guys. Look what Dani taught me. Oh, boy.
Terrible. All right. What's your next one?
All right. So this is my last one. And I brought it because I remember eating a lot of these late high school, early college, early 2000s. And not really loving them then. Don't really love them now. Haven't had them probably in at least a decade. So I was like, this is a good time for us to try them. And these are the Debbie Downer of all snack foods, baked Lays.
Gross.
And they are here in the house. I had trouble finding these.
Good.
I did. Like, I don't think they're very popular
They
anymore.
still have them at Subway all the time.
Oh, I could have gone there. Okay.
Yeah,
I did find them at Dollar General, but I couldn't find like a big bag.
Oh,
just like a normal like individual size bag, which I think will be enough for us.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna even. Yeah. So, as you guys probably know, in the mid 90s or even early 90s, there's this whole like low calorie, low fat, no sugar,
fat free,
don't eat fried foods kind of push, right? Which, not that that's inherently bad, but it was marketed everywhere. In fact, one of the first things I wanted to bring today was Snackwell's vanilla cream cookies, and they don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
I actually looked on Amazon because I looked everywhere else, and they give you like other things that are similar. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow, they don't even make those. So if you think about if you were alive during that time period and cognizant of what was happening with food around you or in your home, that stuff was everywhere.
Yeah.
It was like the end all be all. And for like some of these things to like not even exist anymore is really, really interesting. Right?
I know.
That like, well, that didn't last.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so baked Lays, again, I'm not a nutrition expert, but in looking into this, essentially in a nutshell, what I found out about these is they were introduced as like a lower calorie, lower fat option for people that wanted potato chips or whatever. However, they are much higher in sugar, sodium, and like chemicals.
Yeah, because you have to mask the horrible cardboard that they taste like.
They're still terrible.
They're so terrible.
We're going to find out.
They also just make you crave the original thing even more. Like from a science standpoint, there is research showing that if you just have a smaller amount of like full fat, full whatever,
right,
then if you had a larger amount of the fat free, you eat more of the fat free because you don't have that. Guys, fat is not all bad. You have to have it.
Right. And so like my non-expert conclusion was, yes, lower calorie, yes, lower fat, not healthier.
Right.
Not really.
Correct.
Because you're just trading one thing for another.
Yeah.
If you want to have like the full fat stuff like the Doritos and the Funyuns and all that, you should have that. But so these came out in 1996 and there are still 9 varieties available. And did you know Flaming Hot Cheetos are considered a baked Lay's component? Yeah, those are baked, not fried.
I love
They're like
those.
part of the family. I should have brought those then, but I didn't know till I bought these and I was doing the research. I was like, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. But yeah, so like when these came on the scene, they were actually introduced, in the summer of 1995.
Okay.
But nobody kind of really knew about them. They were on shelves. And then there was this big, you guessed it, I thought it was Super Bowl. It wasn't. New Year's Day commercial.
Oh, geez.
Frito-Lay, the parent company.
Diet culture.
Oh, you're going to love this.
I'm going to die. Here we go.
It featured 3 supermodels.
Of course.
Vendela, Kathy Ireland, and Naomi Campbell eating these. And at least one, I don't know which one, said, you can eat like one of the guys and still look like one of the girls.
Oh, stop.
But it worked. Baked Lays ended up being like setting records for like snack food debuts. They topped like $300 million the first year they were out. Like as a side note, you said Subway. The guy I was dating in high school, his mom would like get a Subway sometimes after school if we were like hanging out. And I remembered that's when I first saw them. Because she was like, oh, yeah, they have these like baked Lays now, and like she was probably like the market, the mom's buying the stuff for the house, buy these baked Lays. And I just remember her always, getting them and enjoying them, maybe not enjoying them. But yeah, so that's kind of all I know, but they're not as popular as they used to be. I did a little bit more of a deep dive into the Frito-Lay guy, Herman Lay, and like kind of how he got started. But it was similar to what I was saying about the Little Debbie starter. He just kind of local business, got popular. And then, believe it or not, Frito-Lay is now owned by Pepsi.
Oh.
Yeah, they're under the Pepsi like umbrella.
Yeah.
So when all of this happened, I think Pepsi came into the picture before these. Yeah, they're the parent company of Lay's. And so that's all I have on baked Lays. But I really wanted to bring them because I wanted to see how we feel.
I will eat one.
I will eat one too.
We don't need a plate for those because I know they're gross.
I remember somewhat liking barbecue ones, but I just like barbecue chips.
I feel like
They look
I know. They just look sad.
Oh my God.
They take, again, you know why there's so much salt? Because they cover up the horrible taste.
Totally.
Do you remember when Olean was a big thing?
Yes.
And they had all those wow Doritos and wow whatever. And like Olean would give you diarrhea if you ate too much of it.
That with these.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see.
Oh, nope.
Bad. So bad.
I also don't like plain potato chips.
Yeah.
And like my stepdad will not eat flavored chips.
Okay.
He only wants like traditional like Lay's or tortilla chips or whatever. And I would rather not eat chips than
Yeah, just like I'll eat something else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so salty too.
Yeah, it's
like literally just like putting salt in your mouth. So I guess it probably tastes about the same as it always did. Just not good.
Thanks for that downer on our taste buds. But we're gonna end with a banger.
Yes, time for the banger at the end. Let's do it.
All right, so I actually had these not too long ago when I was around Katie on our road trip. So these are my favorite gas station road trip snack ever, and it is combos. My sister used to call them dog biscuits because they kind of look like
They kind of do because they're like just the perfect size.
Yeah, so combos are they're cylinder tubes of cracker, pretzel, or tortilla available with various fillings. Okay, so in the early 1970s, Combos Snacks was established in Michigan, Battle Creek, Michigan. Yeah,
okay.
With a groundbreaking creation, stuffing nacho cheese inside a pretzel by making a hole in it. So they established then, and then in 1978, the manufacturer announced the naming of their full shells, like a shell with filling, as Schatzels.
Schatzels.
And the empty shells were Nutzels.
No. No.
I know.
It's like a Rocco's Modern Life joke.
It is.
It really is.
It is. And additionally, they relocated their operations to Albany, Georgia. So they left Michigan, went to Georgia, and they joined the Mars family. Okay. So Mars is who makes the combos. And in 1980, this is when it comes into our vernacular, Mars released Combos Pretzels. Okay. Then 1985, I put Combs pretzels. Okay, sorry. In 1985, combo crackers came out. Because see, this is the pretzel kind, which are my favorite. In 1988, pepperoni pizza cracker came out. Then the pretzel flavor came out later. And now they have several flavors on the market. They used to just have the cheese and then the pepperoni. Now they have like buffalo blue cheese, which I think is ones I bought on our road trip. They have honey mustard. They have a few. And I didn't know these existed, but Dooley's Corn Keistos launched in 1982, which are made with tortilla. So it's the same company, same product, but they're not called combos with a tortilla. They're called Corn Keistos. Yeah, I didn't know until I started researching. That's about all I have on those because
that's all right. That was a little bonus. That was a little like let's end on something good. I personally really like combos.
I love them.
My husband and I have like very different like tastes in like food and snacks and all the things, and we both like combos. Like it's the kind of thing we can get on a road trip and just like, have between us and share because. Can you get it open?
Oh my gosh. What is happening? It's a fruit roll up on my finger.
Exactly. It's your witch finger fruit roll up.
Okay, I got it. All right.
I like the pretzel ones too, but
I like
the cracker ones as well.
Do you? Here, give me your plate. Or do you just
I think I just might take one or two.
Here,
I'll just grab a couple.
I ate one. I didn't even wait for you. I just put it in my mouth.
You're like, here we go. That's okay.
I had to get that baked delayed taste out.
You're like, please, quickly.
Yeah, the pepperoni are my favorite. But I was in Walmart and all they had was a party-sized bag of the cheddar cheese pretzel.
Yeah, it's good though.
And they're delicious.
It's delicious, yeah, really good.
They are not the most appetizing looking of a snack.
That's true, right?
I also used to do this weird eating trick. God, I just have so many weird things about me. I don't do it anymore. But I would just bite like the first half, the top half off. And then eat the filling out and then eat the bottom half. It's kind of like an Oreo cookie, you know, where you open the cookie and you eat the filling. I would just bite the top half off and like eat the filling out the bottom. I don't do it now. Don't worry, Katie.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. You can do it however you want.
She's like, what weird thing is she going to say next?
They're good though.
That's it.
That's it. That was a lot of snacks. We're like surrounded by wrappers and I don't know, half-eaten Star Crunches.
That was so much. My stomach is going to hurt after this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I
and I'm
have
gonna...
my little plate I saved stuff on, but I don't think I'm actually going to save any of it.
That's sad.
It is sad. Wow. Commercialism. Also, most people don't sit down and eat like 9 snacks at one time.
Yeah, it's like a charcuterie board, except
Swiss
all preservatives.
all preservatives all the time. So, did we name any of your favorite snacks, or what did we leave out? Because we're going to have a follow-up at some point. So let us know, listeners, in the comments, or you can email us. That's in our show notes too. And thank you for listening to Generation In Between, a Xennial podcast, and listening to us revisit our favorite snacks. That was fun. And if you liked what you heard, make sure you share us with your friends of all generations. Leave us a review wherever you're listening right now on podcasts. You can also find us on patreon.com. Become a monthly supporter. You'll have access to bonus episodes. We have an after show now that we post, which is kind of fun. I'll have to tell you, Dani, on the next after show, but someone that listened to it had a thought about the question I had about my hair.
Oh, I can't wait.
We'll talk about it on today's after show.
Yay!
And if you want to join, you can do that. If not, we are happy to see you here in our normal feed.
Absolutely.
Where every week you'll have a new topic-based item, and most weeks you'll also have a Dawson's Creek to listen to for now. Mm-hmm. If you're listening to this in 2028, we are probably done with Dawson's Creek, maybe.
Maybe not.
But you can go back in our feed and find it. So thanks again, everybody. And until next time, keep on snacking.
Woo-hoo.
But we're not going to. We're done snacking.
I'm still eating combos.
Okay, we're going to keep snacking.
All right.
Bye. Did your favorite childhood snacks come wrapped in foil? Or...
Do you mean cellophane?
Well, yeah. Let me try that again.
I'm like, foil?
You know what's funny? Some of the websites... Well, the early Pop-Tarts were foil, I think. And they changed. But that would have been cellophane.
It was cellophane. Yeah.
Right,
that was so funny.
Again.
Oh, my gosh.
Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane. Okay. Let's try that again. We'll put the little blooper at the end. Okay. Wow. Doing good so far. All right.